Hello students, welcome to our course PED 322 Methods of Teaching Reading in the Primary School. This is a course designed to enhance your knowledge about techniques you can employ to teach reading to primary school pupils. It will also enable you to have an in-depth knowledge of the resources for teaching reading as well as test items for evaluating reading. This course has two modules. Module 1 has 6 units and Module 2 has 7 units, all of which will hopefully enhance our knowledge and learning. I am Dr. Fatima Ifoluke, an Associate Professor of English Language Education and Applied Linguistics from the Faculty of Education, the Department of Arts and Social Sciences Education. As we go along with these our sessions, I'll advise that you get fully prepared with your writing materials, your questions, and please be punctual at the beginning of each session. It really promises to be an exciting journey. Thank you and welcome once again. Welcome to our course PED 322, and for this session we shall be looking at the interrelatedness of the 4 language skills. I'm Dr. Foluke Fatimai, and on the screen you can see my email address in case you want to contact me about anything pertaining to the course. Thank you. Let's go on. This course, PED 322, is about teaching reading, so an understanding of the relationship of the 4 language skills will facilitate the teaching of reading. The skills will be individually treated so that you can focus attention on specific aspects of each of the 4 skills. Afterwards, you will perceive how these skills are interrelated. For the teaching of English to be successful, the 4 language skills should be integrated in an effective way. That may be the reason Sadiku 2015 opines that the integration of listening and speaking with reading and writing will make learners good listeners, good speakers, good readers and writers, so as to be able to communicate effectively. You will all agree with me that the main reason of teaching reading or language skills is to be able to communicate effectively. Once we can achieve that, we have achieved our goal. Now, what are the course expectations? At the end of this unit, you should be able to recall the basic language skills, distinguish between the receptive and the productive skills, analyze the relationship among the 4 language skills, and be able to explain how the knowledge of the interrelatedness of these skills can aid the teaching and learning of reading. Now, listening is one of the 4 language skills. The others are speaking, reading, and writing. That makes 4. Listening and reading are called the receptive skills, while speaking and writing are the productive skills. Let us pause a while and look at these 2 bullet points. Bullet point number 1 says listening is one of the 4 language skills. We all know that. We all know what listening is. But I would like to add here that listening is one of the basic and the most essential of the language skills. But it is the least taken for granted. It is not taught. We just assume that everybody can listen. When people talk, we listen. So it is very fundamental and one of the most fundamental language skills. Again, listening and reading are said to be receptive skills. Why do you think that is so? Think about it. We can bring up whatever we want to talk about this at the discussion forum. But for now, listening and reading are called the receptive skills because it seems as if, or it is assumed that when you listen, you don't do much exertion. And when you read, you do it to yourself most of the time, except when you are reading aloud. But when you read most of the time, you read silently, you read to yourself, you enjoy reading, so it is receptive. Now, let's go on. Listening and speaking skills are acquired naturally in a first language situation through the maturational process. I repeat, listening and speaking skills are acquired naturally in a first language situation through the maturation process. These are the keywords. Listening and speaking are not consciously learned like reading and writing. So, you acquire your listening and speaking skills in the bosom of your family, whether immediate or extended, in your society, in the first language situation. You don't go anywhere to learn it. Unlike reading and writing, you go to the school, the formal learning situation, to learn. I hope this is very clear, and this distinction is very important. However, all the 4 skills are interrelated and correlate with one another to form a whole. You don't separate them. That is, when they are put together, they form the basis for sound language ability. Let us remind ourselves at this junction that a purposeful instruction in language must embody the 4 skills of listening, speaking, reading, and writing. You don't separate them. You don't say this is more important than the other. You teach everything together. Because in your class, when students listen to you, give them instruction, they respond, maybe through answering questions, and they do exercises of reading and writing based on whatever they have listened to. So a purposeful instruction in language must embody the 4 skills of language. The pupils also need all of these to be able to understand and express themselves in various communication contexts. And according to Crow et al., there is an apparent closeness amongst the 4 skills. And they illustrated these, and I quote, "When we listen, we perceive, we identify, and sense the impact of language meaning. And when we speak and write, we express ideas. This is illustrated in the next slide. This slide is showing you some concentric circles and arrows to indicate and illustrate the interrelatedness of the 4 language skills. You can see listening, which is the most fundamental. The circle of listening is intertwined with the other circles, and the arrows too are pointing and going round and round, not stopping anywhere. All this goes to show that these 4 skills are interrelated, interconnected, and they correlate together to form a whole. So when you listen, it is related to speaking, it is related to reading and writing. We wish you success as you go along in this course. We also hope that you'll be able to appreciate the fact that reading is a key to continued success in school and in the larger society. It is our hope that this course will challenge you to contribute positively to making children able to read efficiently and effectively. Thank you. Stay safe. We shall meet next class the same time.